I wouldn't even argue with that. I don't know. It's a little tough for me to say. Like, I really got to sit down and fucking, comb the archives in my mind and
I
really
really
think of
like
which ones.
95.
95 was good.
Who won in 95? Who was in
Sean.
95?
Sean.
Of course.
Sean.
Shawn Michaels marks over here. Of course.
But
the match was good, man.
But Ric Flair isn't Ric
just
Flair.
I
Sean
did like
followed
99. I did like 99 personally.
Vince
Who's
McMahon.
that?
Yeah,
Wait,
Vince won the Rumble.
Geez, I forgot about that.
And I don't know. The 97 one was okay, but it was like,
I think the 90s were iffy, man. It was iffy.
Like
bro.
the 97. I didn't like it because Steve didn't get the title shot. You know what I'm saying? And him and Brett ended up having a fucking classic, but I don't know. But then 98 was great. 98,
what was the
like
one
Steve
where
was
they had
just
a
going
double?
crazy.
They had a double winner. Which one was that? What was
94.
It?
That was
Luger?
that was 94. Luger
That was a
Brett.
good one.
Yeah.
They had a string of good Royal Rumbles. Like, they had a string of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember who won 93 though.
The early ones, I think, were not as good, only because the stakes weren't as high. And I think once they implemented that title shot into it, I think like that's when it really started to fucking kick off and become more popular and a bigger deal. Now it's a fucking event. I mean, this shit's on par with WrestleMania.
How did you guys feel when they brought in WCW and ECW into the Royal Rumble? Those guys all just came in. You had the pick of the litter.
I mean, I was good with it because none of those guys have ever won.
Yeah, I wasn't mad about it, but in retrospect, I think that whole invasion angle could have been maybe done a little bit better. It is
well, they didn't have none of the top guys.
And look, I don't want to be one of those fucking guys that's like, well, this could have been booked better or whatever. Like, no, I'm not going to be one of those dickheads. But in terms of like what my expectations were, considering the rosters that were available, the potential that was available, I think a big part of it was harmed by the fact that you couldn't get Sting, you couldn't get Flair. You couldn't get Hogan, the NWO, Goldberg, those guys early on because of their Time Warner contracts. And then once they became available, they had already kind of done the invasion angle. But how the fuck are you going to do the invasion angle without those guys? Because those guys were like, WCW in the eyes of the fans. Yeah. So I think because of that, the expectation and the result, it didn't really live up to the expectation. The result, it was very underwhelming. It was good. Yeah. It produced some good matches. Don't get me wrong, But
the most memorable matches are with WWE guys. You know what I mean? The most memorable matches like SummerSlam, you have Rock versus Booker T. You have Kurt Angle versus Booker T.
You know what? Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good. I mean, but even like the Stalker thing, like, and then Booker T coming out in the main event, at that King of the Ring. I was at that King of the Ring where it was Benoit, Jericho, and Steve in the main event for the title. And fucking Booker T came out. And it was like, yo, how much cooler would this have been if it was like Hogan? Or how much cooler would this have been if this was Sting or Flair, or Scott Hall or Kevin Nash, like one of those guys. And then, again, like when you got the NWO, it was just, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
NWO
was cool. It was watered down.
When he introduced that was the best.
But it still led to big business, though. You can't say that because you had Rocky and you had Hogan, and anything that Hogan did during that time, that was big shit for them, man.
Now, how did you guys act, bro? Because I know I was jumping and I was fucking. We were high as hell at my boy's house, and I kept saying like Hogan's coming back. Hogan, he's like, shut the fuck up. And then when Vince did that promo, he turned the chair around and said NWO. How did you guys react to that? I was jumping out of my chair.
I just wanted Hall back. That's what it was. It was all about Hall for me.
I dug it because I wanted to see Hogan versus Austin. Like I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that, and I wanted to see Scott Hall back because I felt like Scott Hall and Nash were both guys that needed to come back. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think they didn't do Hogan versus Austin?
There's a lot of reasons.
And
both
went
of those
Rock
guys
versus
talk
Hogan.
about it. We don't really know. Yeah.
Ego,
I think he just didn't want to put him over.
Yeah. I mean, Hulk didn't want to put him over, and to be quite honest, I don't understand why.
He put over the Rock, though. But he put over the Rock.
Yeah,
but the Rock gave it back to him the next month.
And the perception of the Rock too is that like the Rock wasn't on par with Austin already, because I mean, I think back in that time Austin was the top dog, and look, they're both great superstars. I'm not taking anything away from the Rock, but again, the perception of the fans at the time was that Steve was the top dog. Steve was Hogan and Rocky was Macho Man. That's basically what the best way to say it.
Okay.
And I think that Hogan just didn't want to do business for him. And that's fucked up, man, because Steve deserved it. And regardless of that fact, Steve's star is still bigger than Hogan's, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Steve and
The
more
biggest
people, I
star
think, like
ever.
him. Yeah.
I mean, even now, man, you talk about you mention all the time about the NWO shirts. So, like, dude, people still rock Austin 316 shirts today.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like my kids, you know, they have posters and stuff up in their room, and one of the posters that they asked me to put up was a Stone Cold Steve Austin one.
Really? Over NWO?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. They got a Steve Austin poster on their door. No bullshit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because there was just something great about the character. I think it connected with people, and you know, it's. I think a lot of it is the beating up your boss thing. You know, I think a lot of people want to beat up their fucking bosses, but I also think that a lot of it is just Steve's natural charisma, his swagger, his walk, the way he presents himself. Because, you know, before somebody opens up their fucking mouth or cuts a promo, you're gonna see them. You know what I'm saying? And when you saw Steve, you saw the intensity, you saw the realism, you saw something there, and it was very, very captivating. And then, just I think really his whole. The way he kind of came in, he wasn't a star right out of the gate. And then he becomes organically this mid-card guy that starts kind of climbing up the ranks as a heel. He becomes a little despicable. And then all of a sudden he works with Bret Hart and it just goes somewhere else, you know? And that was it. That was it, bro. I mean, think about all the iconic images you have of this guy, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, but I would figure like NWO is more swagger, more cool. Like, wow. Like, yeah, you know, I'm the it.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's cool too, but I just think that little kids instinctually always want to like the best guy.
They want to kick ass. They don't want to look cool. They want to kick ass.
Yeah. All little kids instinctually want to like the best guy. Whoever's the best guy, that's their guy, you know? And I think that, you know,
so you're saying Steve Austin is the Tony Hawk of wrestling.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if we're gonna say baseball terms, maybe he might be like, you know, Barry Bonds. You know, and Hogan's Babe Ruth, you know, like it's kind of like that. Like, you know, you wouldn't have this guy if it wasn't for that guy. You know?
As hell is no Kenny Omega, right?
I feel for Kenny. Macho, you're a fan of Kenny. We were talking about it not that long ago. That the Kenny that we liked, the Kenny that drew us in. It's been a while since we've seen that Kenny.
Been a while.
In so many aspects, like he doesn't even cut promos like the way he used to. Like his promos in Japan were nice, whether he was doing it in Japanese.
Does he do that gunshot shit still?
Yeah, he still does that, especially when he does the V trigger. But he's not the same guy.
I remember when Pat was like, he's the greatest, he's the best in the world at one time. And I was like, oh, fuck, all right. And then all of a sudden he just went to AEW and it's like, Bryan Danielson all the way.
Well,
no question. Yeah.
I think it was just a matter of Danielson coming back. And I had always said that. Like, Omega was the guy. In, like, 2017, 2018, I would say Kenny Omega was the guy. But I always held out that when Bryan Danielson comes back, he's the best. And actively, Bryan Danielson's the best.
Yeah, I don't know how you figured that one out.
Roman's up there. But in terms of like a workhorse, like worker wrestler, like the guy that you need to get this person to where they got to get to, Danielson.
But just the reason why, just because he came back out of that, you know, they were just like shelved him, like you're done, bro.
Well, they didn't want to take the risk, I think, and again, there's a lot of legalities involved. I mean, bro, think about it. Owen Hart, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, like all these things that happened, you know, you don't want Bryan Danielson's name to be on that list, you know? So I understand why these companies take these risks. And I understand that sometimes you kind of have to cut off the performer for their own good so that they don't do these things, so that they don't make their lives worse. But, you know, he's a very intelligent guy. And I think that he's a guy who figured out a way to naturally heal himself. And obviously with all these breakthroughs in medicine that we have every other day, it's pretty believable that he was going to do it. So
I don't get it. Answer me this: you guys are ring workers and you guys are generals in the ring, bro. I'm just a fucking spectator out here. I'm just a
all right, man. Like let's settle down. I think we're also both very humble and very fucking modest. Okay.
Yeah. But you got Edge. Bryan Danielson came back and they were fucking same style whopping away, right? But then you got somebody like Paige comes back and they're carrying her. Why can't she or Austin? Why
she's
can't
not
she
ready to
come
be
back
back.
like that?
Those guys worked their ass off. Edge was away from the business for 11 years. He worked his ass off to get back. Bryan Danielson did everything. And you even see it. He talks about it in his I think it was the Jericho podcast, where he talks about, if I ever got a chance to work Brock Lesnar, I was going to work like this crouching style, like from the ground. If you go back and watch that Survivor Series match, he does a little bit of that style in the ring to protect himself from Lesnar's, like the way he throws him around. Paige came back and thought she could be Paige without doing all the work outside. She came back. She wasn't fit for in-ring performance. She looks like
didn't
a
do
model.
anything like these guys. She didn't do nothing, no kind of like, neck work, weight training to get your muscle and your strength, but she didn't do shit then.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Jimmy. No clue. I have no clue as to what her training entailed and her preparation entailed, but I know that Danielson was like in hyperbaric chambers because his issues were more concussion based.
Yeah.
And I think that once he was able to get himself to a point where he was able to run the ropes, to wrestle, to do all those little things, then he was going to be okay. And I mean, dude, like this is a guy who's very, very intelligent, man. Like he's studied so many different things. He understands his body well. He understands his nutrition. He gets what there is to do. I mean, you look at him and you look at, other guys from his era. He doesn't look fucking washed like all of them. Does he look a little older in the face? Maybe, yeah. But I mean, he doesn't look washed.
He's got 2 kids. You can expect that,
Yeah, but I think he's intelligent about how he trains his body. I think he trains for flexibility. He's not bulking up to be fucking huge. He's being practical and he's using his body in a way that, he could do it a million fucking times and the body's going to be able to do it the same way as long as he trains the same way. Like he's very, very intelligent, dude. You check out his video doing on Celtic workout with Sheamus. Celtic workout, excuse me.
Yeah.
Check it out on there. And he does it on the Celtic workout videos on YouTube. Bryan Danielson has this whole way that he prepares, that he stretches, that he leverages how his body's feeling, his nervous system. Like, dude, it's like, I mean, I remember just fucking stretching. Like, just stretching was a big thing. Like, oh man, if you stretch, you're not going to get hurt. Meanwhile, he's like testing out his fucking nervous system and doing all this stuff. Like, very intelligent guy, man. So it was very believable. But I think with Paige, I think the big situation with her, man, is that
too much video games.
No, they're counting on her to be that person right now. They need her to be that person. They need her to be that name. They need her to get them to Mercedes Moné. And I think that once they could cross that bridge
and put it on
then
Moné,
she can kind of pump the brakes a little bit. But I mean, man, I've been saying this shit for a long time. And thankfully it hasn't really happened.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
But like Sting jumping off of balconies, Flair wrestling matches, all these guys all these older guys and all these retired hurt people coming back, doing a match, doing all this stuff. Something's gonna happen to somebody. Something's gonna happen to somebody, and I hope it doesn't. And the more you run the risk, the more it can happen.
Drive to fucking Weehawken and smack you in the mouth if something happens to Sting now.
Hey, listen here, Anakin. I have the high ground. Okay, I live. All right. You're gonna have to climb up them stairs. You'll get blown up, and I'll give you a stinger splash off the top of the steps. All right.
I do over here is walk. What do you mean?
I thought of something for you two guys, bro. If you two guys ever do a solo podcast and work in the marks of Must Love Wrestling, have to be called the Ring Generals.
The Ring Generals.
It would have to be called the Ring Generals. You two are the Ring Generals, bro. I'm telling you. Look at Pat, all modest and shit, bro. He's like, I'm not a Ring General.
No, dude.
Maybe a ring commander, not a general.
I'm fucking not. I'm more of a beer general these days than a fucking ring general. Okay?
I go to the Dollar General. I'm not a ring.
Yeah. No, man. I don't want to tear a quad.
I'm the fucking oatmeal cream pie general. That's what I am right now.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not trying to tear a fucking quad or a hammy or anything. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
There's definitely gonna be like, I definitely feel like sometimes, oh man, I wish I could go back and take some bumps in a ring. Indie rings are tough.
I mean, They don't look that bad though. I mean, I watched that that Netflix show, bro. You know, the fucking OVW thing with wrestlers. And look at Patty.
I knew you were gonna fucking go there.
And I mean, I saw them.
Fucking jerk.
I saw them building the ring, and I'm like, oh, okay, it doesn't look that bad.
Oh, okay. Go take a bump then.
I'm just
hold on a second. Let me go get my seltzer and muffins. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I mean, have you watched the wrestler show on Netflix?
I watched the first couple episodes. Yeah.
I just finished it yesterday. Pat is anti. He doesn't want to watch it, bro. I don't know why, man.
Why not?
I don't know, man. It's a great show, man. I'm telling you, it's really great. I hope they come out with I hope they do a second one.
I enjoyed the first couple episodes, but then it just kind of got redundant to me.
I mean, Hollywood, that chick Hollywood, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
Hollywood J.
I think what happened with me was, here's my trying to get a sponsorship with Simple Modern.
I got coffee.
Give me.
I'm trying to get a sponsorship here with Spindrift. This is what I think CM Punk was drinking when he did the fucking the shoot there.
Presser. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was this. I think it was Spindrift.
So now, Pat, what is your beef with not watching the show Wrestlers on Netflix?
Fucking knew you were gonna go there.
It's better to go here than go on a Wednesday show, you know. Come on.
You curly-haired prick. I knew you were going to go there. Here's the thing, all right? For me personally, I don't like programs that reveal shit about the business. I think that shit like that should not be detailed very much. It's been detailed enough. We don't need to talk about it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But everybody keeps wanting to pull back the curtain.
I mean, the curtain's been pulled back since the steroid scandal.
Not all the way. Not all the way. There's a lot of things that fucking fans and marks don't know that they haven't learned from books or shoot interviews or YouTube videos or Google searches or whatever the fuck they do. Patreon subscriptions, whatever, bro. whatever you want to say. There's a lot of shit that fans still don't know. And I think that programs like that are interesting for people who don't know about the business and perhaps a more modernized take on it, but it also runs the risk of exposing the fucking business in a way and empowering fucking idiots and marks who know very little about the business to think that they know more or have more of a say over people who actually worked in the fucking business and paid their fucking dues. And that's just me. That's just how I feel. So that's why I don't watch it, but I ain't got a problem with anybody else watching.
Great show.
Fantastic.
Al Snow. Here we go. Al Snow right
Al Snow's cool, man, and good for him and good for Al Snow that he's on fucking TV, that he's doing his fucking thing. But me personally, I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch that shit. You know? Because again, I know I'm going to run into some fucking schmo that's going to fucking try and use shit from that to try and act like he fucking knows more than anybody. And look, I'm not saying I'm a fucking expert, bro. But like, I think nowadays we have a general problem with people where they do not respect people who actually work in a fucking field and think that they know more than them.
Agreed.
Just because they did their research.
Oh, I love that.
Or they know. I know. You don't know shit.
This is why you're the ring generals. This is why you guys are the ring generals.
You ain't got up and fucking done it, you fucking mark. Okay? You ain't got up and done it. Do you see
he just needs a beret right now. Look at this. He just needs a beret.
No, I agree. I agree with them, man.
What do you think? You think I'm some dude that wears fucking stupid hats on this show? Is that what you think of me? Or put stupid shit on my head?
I gotta agree with you, man. I gotta say it. Like, that's one of the most annoying things I've ever had. There's this actually really great. I just recently made a friend in like the wrestling verse. Her name's Shayna, and she tells me all the time. She's like, the one word that I hate. She's outraged. The one thing she hates is like the word gaslighting, right? But she says in today's wrestling that's what people do. Like, you'll have a wrestling fan, like somebody that's like 20 something years old, right? And then they'll watch like Bryan Danielson say at a media scrum, John Moxley, you'd have to argue he's not the best wrestler in the world right now. But then you'll have that 20 something year old jump on Twitter and be like, Bryan Danielson's lost his mind. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So all of his years of expertise and him telling you all the people that he's been in the ring with, Triple H, Eddie Guerrero, Low-Key, all of these guys that he's been in the ring with, and he's telling you he thinks Jon Moxley's the top, but I'm supposed to believe you, Mr. 20-something-year-old, because you don't like Jon Moxley? That's kind of how it happens. Like I'm supposed to take the advice of a 20-something-year-old kid over someone who's been in the business for 20 plus years. Oh, I agree with you.
Exactly, man. And I think it's arrogant at the very least. I mean, you don't see me showing up to fucking Newark airport going, hey, listen, man, I'm going to go fly this fucking plane real quick. Okay. Yeah, but you're not a pilot. You don't actually work. No, but I'm going to fly the plane, dude. Trust me, bro. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you don't really know what you're doing.
I did my research.
You know what I'm saying? Or me going into a hospital and walking into the operating table and be like, listen, let me scrub up here and get ready, man. I'm going to do this open heart surgery. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? Well, I've seen it on YouTube.
You did your research.
I saw it on YouTube, and I saw this documentary about open heart surgery. So, like, I'm pretty confident that I could do it. Like, what? Yeah. like, who does that? That's like you walking, March. That's like you walking out on a basketball court and being like, "Yo, LeBron, pass me the fucking rock." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this game-winning shot right now. Okay.
Yeah. I'm good with that. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's like you said, it's super arrogant, and I don't understand why wrestling fans tend to do that. Or like you said, it's not just wrestling fans; it's anybody in any field. But getting back to that show, Wrestler, like the Wrestler, whatever it's called, I didn't really watch a lot of it. Wrestlers, I didn't really watch a lot of it. Now, I will say, I know you said you don't like when people let you peek behind the curtain a lot, but I will say that show on Stars, that's a really good produced. Like, it's a really good
Heels.
Show. Yeah, if you ever watch that show, I like the way it's more so drama.
I heard there's a rumor in AEW saying that they made that show for CM Punk.
What?
Stephen Amell, that show's his, man.
I don't know. That's what I heard from some AEW one. They made heels.
That show was made for Stephen Amell because Arrow ain't on fucking TV no more, all right?
And he's a massive fan. And they took two people from two different universes and put them on the show together. We had him from Arrow, and then we had the other guy from Vikings. And they're both like, you could tell Steven's the guy who actually works, though.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Steven had matches. Yeah, Steven had matches. I mean, I liked his match with Cody Rhodes. I thought that was great.
Okay. Yeah, I liked his match with Cody Rhodes. I liked his match with Christopher Daniels. I thought it was like he worked really solid. I like,
You mean that Stooge?
What Stooge?
Christopher Daniels, a Stooge.
What? The fallen angel? You don't like
CM Punk said. That's what the AEW guys said CM Punk said. They said he called Christopher Daniels a Stooge.
I thought he was I didn't think he was talking to Daniels.
I feel like you get like the Alex Jones wrestling news.
I'm just like hearing from what AEW guys say, bro. I'm like, I don't know, man. They're all saying that
listen to those call him a stooge. They're all fucking dumb. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're gonna run their own company into the ground.
Oh man,
that's just what's gonna happen. This whole Ray Phoenix thing, like,
fire him, man. We got another drama situation. Fire him.
This is not his fault. This is the problem. How come
he almost killed Moxley?
New Japan, okay, but how come New Japan can allow Mercedes Moné, a veteran of the business, to ad-lib, break her ankle, and tell Willow, "You're going over. You're winning this match. I can't. Like, I broke my foot. Like, however it happens." And she's praised for it. Praised. And then Jon Moxley gets a concussion, and then he's like, "I can't. You need to go over." He drops the title, and all of a sudden, Ray Phoenix is catching heat backstage. What happened? CM Punk's been gone for 2.5. But it wasn't his fault. It wasn't on a spot with Ray Phoenix. Like, it wasn't the driver.
It's not what the greatest fans of all time said.
I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. That move is dangerous, and they shouldn't have allowed it to be done.
Kind of like the Styles claim.
But his concussion was confirmed to have happened in the beginning of the match. That's what they're saying. That's what a plancha or something hit him the wrong way.
Wait,
whether it did or it didn't, I don't look. I don't know. I don't know the official information, but what I will say is that shit didn't fucking help.
No,
and it didn't add any more years to his wrestling.
Was it worse than what Owen Hart did to Stone Cold?
It was the same fucking thing, more or less, but twice. I would say.
He did it twice, yeah.
You sure Moxley didn't say do it again?
Did was cleaner and in a bad way.
Are you sure Moxley didn't say do it again? I didn't feel it.
Pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he did. When the ref goes to count to 3, Mox's he can't pick his shoulders up, and the ref just stopped.
Yeah, that was the shit that got me. That I was like, yo, that's fucking
Wow.
And then
But
he hit it again. Yeah.
see, but again, look, man, I don't even blame the ref, right? I don't blame Phoenix. I don't blame Moxley. Moxley was the pro in the situation, trying to figure it the fuck out for everybody to get their shit together. But I blame Tony Khan and I blame the fucking structure at that company, because you have a referee that's out there.
You mean the
that's unprepared for
2022
that.
Booker of the Year?
Yeah.
Gotta
But we
watch
all know
out,
that
man.
shit's fraudulent, bro. We all know that shit's all fucking mark rated. Like that's not reality.
Don't
And
ask D if you don't want to know the answer to it. Don't ask Pat who the Booker of the Year is, because he's gonna piss you off then.
oh, I'll tell you who the Booker of the Year is so far for 2023.
Who's the Booker of the Year so far?
You're gonna have to wait for that answer on Wednesday on this
Oh.
week's episode of Working the Marks. But but you know,
I'm gonna write that down and make sure I ask you this question.
Yeah, you fucking better. Macho be there anyway. So, but see, getting back to this situation with Moxley and shit and Ray Phoenix, like, okay, Ray Phoenix shouldn't catch no heat for that. Should he catch heat for maybe doing the move twice? Okay, I could see that. I could see.
Well, you don't think Mox told him to do it twice?
I get that Mox told him to do it twice, but he shouldn't have done it, period. Okay? Because the dude was concussed.
He's got to listen to the ring general, though. He's the ring general.
Yeah, but he could have told you that he killed John Kennedy. Wouldn't make it fucking so now, would it? So, like, the whole situation is that, you know, the structure of the company put a referee like that to be in a situation where he was inexperienced to handle it.
Do their referees have in-ear pieces that they talk to them? They don't have that in their ear?
The thing is, I don't think they have any of that, and I don't even think that they have production meetings. I don't think that they do a lot of things, dude. And I don't think, like Jade Cargill was saying, how CM Punk taught her how to swing a chair. Yeah, bro, that's management's responsibility to teach a talent, especially a talent that's never done that before. So again, you look at these issues, you look at these events, and I think it kind of piggybacks on what Macho was saying, is that the structure of the company is not going to keep it succeeding. They're gonna kill themselves. They're gonna fuck themselves over because they're not fucking professional, and they don't have a structure in place to help the talent be in the right place at the right time. And
but
do the right
they did
thing
sell out Wembley Stadium at 80,000, 81,000.
It was 72,000. It was 72. And look, good for them. Good for them. But like, that doesn't change the fact that structurally they have a lot of issues and they have a lot of unprepared talent in situations that they shouldn't be in, that endanger other talent from getting hurt.
See, what I don't understand is this, man. They have Arn Anderson backstage. They have Jeff Jarrett. They have a bunch of great old school wrestlers. Why don't they have them fucking, be the backstage?
They don't pay them to do that. They don't pay them to do that. Wrestlers ain't going to do nothing that ain't paid for.
Tell the Jake
Roberts. Now, look, Jake Roberts, I got a lot of respect for him, and I'm not saying anything about him being disparaging in any kind of, like, I'm not disparaging him in any kind of way. I'm not saying anything fucked up about Jake. I respect him.
Yeah.
No, but it's pertinent to this story because of his question.
Correct.
Why these guys won't help
Correct. But Jake was at a show that I was at, and they were asking Jake to, like, go and talk to some young guy and do all this shit, and Jake was like, "You got any money?" And they were like, "What?" The promoter was like, "Nah, man, could you get?" He's like, "Nah, man, you got to pay me for some shit like that, man. I'm here to wrestle. I'm not here to mentor people."
Oh shit!
I'll do it if you pay me. And then I guess he ended up paying him because he was over there and he was talking to the fucking kid. so I mean, look, man, like, wrestlers ain't gonna do shit like that for free, bro. I'm sorry. Like, if you're contracted there to be a manager, if you're contracted there to be an announcer, nobody's gonna say, "Hey, go take this kid under your wing." Motherfucker, like, I'm getting paid to do something else. I'm gonna go outside and twiddle my thumbs. I'm gonna go fucking eat. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends.
So it's a business.
Yeah. And again, I just think that kind of culture doesn't even really exist very much in AEW, based on a lot of things that have happened in the subsequent years.
100%.
Yeah, man. So
we need more wrestlers like CM Punk to just put people under the wing and teach them.
I think there's people that are doing it. I think Danielson's doing it. I think Moxley. I think those guys, Claudio. I got to give Wheeler Yuta credit. Like, he's trying to do his thing. He's starting to, like, add a little size to him.
What about that Puerto Rican wrestler, bro? What's his name? Eddie Kingston.
He's awesome. What do you mean? What's wrong with him?
I'll just being a dick,
dude. Why are you acting like he's like he's acting like he's like some new hot rookie on the scene?
What do you mean? He's doing great. He's going to do better for Ring of Honor than fucking Cesaro did, because Cesaro has no personality.
Oh, shit, dude.
It kind of sucks, right? It kind of.
Eddie Kingston's the Ring of Honor world champion. He's already the best world champion in the company. I said what I said.
I think that's. Oh no,
Ooh, that's a fucking damn.
I agree with it. But I think
Name one thing MJF does better.
Ooh, you're gonna have heat, bro, on your next show. Heat.
I don't know, bro. I'm trying to think objectively. Like I'm not even trying to like throw anything into this, but I mean aesthetically maybe. You know, he's got a better look. MJF.
Yeah,
Really?
he's not a kid. He's not a kid. Don't call him kid.
Wearing 1960s platform shoes to the ring makes you aesthetically more pleasing.
Let me tell you, man. A lot of people don't see that shit. A lot of people don't see those lifts, bro.
I never
They're
noticed
like,
that. I didn't
bro.
notice that.
Like, he's got these, bro. He's got these mega lifts, yo. MJF.
But maybe that's
Adam
just a
Cole,
gimmick
all
with
these
Adam
dudes-
Cole. That's his gimmick.
No.
with him.
That's
No.
just
Lift
something
brothers.
the wrestlers are told. Short wrestlers are told to do that shit when you're fucking training. Okay. When me and my cousin got into the business, they were telling us, yo, you guys are gonna get boots because we started wrestling in Magnum boots, like those Magnum combat boots.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you remember. You got a pair too.
Yeah.
We all used to wear the Magnum combat boots, like Scott Hall would wear them, Steve Austin would wear them, like Just Incredible, like a lot of wrestlers would like wear them in like segments and vignettes and all this shit, wrestling them. So they were great because they were light, they supported your ankle, they were fucking good, but then I remember like after a while, like, hey, I've been wearing those fucking boots long enough, you're gonna get real boots. And then it was just like, okay, it's like be sure to get lifts. And it's like, why? It's like, you're short. It's just like, okay.
Shit.
So straight up, and even guys shorter than me and my cousin, they had lifts, unless it was the guys who were wearing the wrestling shoes and the kick pads. But there was very few guys like that back then.
You're like you're a lot. I don't know. You're kind of like Eddie in the way that like Eddie carried himself bigger. You know what I mean? He wasn't super tall, but he carried himself bigger, so he was able to work bigger guys.
Like
now,
Macho?
Edito is really small, so yeah, that's different. No, I mean,
oh goddamn! Anytime I hear that name,
that's what we used to call. That's what we used to call Bernie back in the day. Edito. That means like little man.
No, that means no. It was his
Violet.
dad saying his name.
Oh yeah, Edito.
Anyways,
this is Violet.
Hello,
Violet. She don't put claws on you, man. My cat puts claws on me.
Get the fuck off the computer.
Oh, there we go. See, at least I don't have the only problem with that.
Look, Macho's always coming on here working fucking stiff, bro. Always. If it ain't about somebody else, it's about the professor. You're always working stiff about the professor.
And you know what's funny? I had to tell Dee today. I had to tell Dee today that I don't even know the professor.
I thought he knew him, bro. I was like, oh man, I was telling him how the professor gets away with wearing cowboy gear at Giant Stadium. He's like, I don't even know this guy. I'm like, what? Like,
damn.
I was like, I don't know this guy. I met him one time. I thought he was all cool, but now, that's fine. He seems.
You gave him a nickname. It's Umberto. That's
Umberto,
it, bro.
yeah. Because he reminds me of that guy that works for the Hollywood Reporter. Umberto El Mayimbe is what they call him. He breaks all the news for like superhero news and stuff. He looks just like him.
Nice. Mach, yeah. I got a question for you here, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Not non-wrestling related, fantasy football related here. All right, so I got T. Higgins going tomorrow for Cincy, right? And then in my flex, I got Puka Nacua, but on my bench, I got Rashad White. But Rashad White's taking on Philly, and they're at home. But I don't know. Should I put Puka Nacua? Because it all depends on if Joe Burrow's playing or not. Because
I would put Puka in. I would put Puka in
at wide receiver, and then put Rashad
at wide receiver, and then I would put Rashad in. Yeah, because unless they're on a roll right now.
Yeah. But the good thing is that Rashad's playing tomorrow night. So all three of those guys are playing tomorrow night. But I got to bench one of them. And I don't know, man. I just think if Burrow doesn't play, T. Higgins ain't going to put up no points. Folks, if you're interested in fantasy football, you can message this chat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my move.
Follow along with my new podcast, the 49er Cast, that'll be debuting next week.
I want to be on that fucker. I want to be on
let's
that
go.
fucker.
Let's go. Let's got it.
I think it would be pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It would be amazing.
I'm fucking right. Look at this.
We'll definitely get down and Purdy when we're talking about it. Oh, I like
the motherfuckers right now.
The motherfuckers are doing pretty good. Why are you on your? Yeah, there you go.
86% chance of winning so far. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if the numbers hold up. Devontae Adams hasn't done shit since the start of the third quarter. Although I think Jimmy shit the bed. Even though I'm quietly rooting for Jimmy, even though he's on the Raiders.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Mi gente.
Mi gente. Wow, we have gone overtime.
Well,
haven't we?
I'm splitting. I'm good. Well, whoever hears this on the audio, I'm splitting this in half. After the Rumble, it's a whole other show, bro. Because
Yeah, that's cool. We're just ad-libbing. I like it.
It seems
There's
like it's a
nothing
whole
wrong
other
with that.
show. No, not at all. Not at all. And I think we touched on a lot of good things.
But I'm thinking of seriously, bro. You guys, the Ring Generals podcast, or the Ring, like whenever you guys do an episode, the Ring Generals.
We are not doing that. Absolutely not. That is
so modest. Pat's so modest, dude.
No, man. Come on, man. Like I'm not gonna do that. But I think we should do another turnbuckle in time, and this time we should do it with the match that the Macho Man right there sent me. Reckless Youth versus Bryan Danielson in the 2001 Super 8 tournament.
It's on YouTube. I'll grab it, man.
It's on fucking YouTube. That would be a great match to fucking put on here. I don't know if anybody owns any copyrights to anything. We might even be able to just fucking show it.
Send me that thing in Messenger.
And it's a pretty historic match. It had a lot of significance, I think, in the future of wrestling. And it was, I think, a peek into the future of what wrestling could be many years later. So that would be an awesome one, and I'm a big mark for both guys, so it'd be cool to talk about.
You were definitely a big fan of Reckless Youth when we were younger. I remember that was like your dude.
Well, he was very much ahead of his time, you know. He was a dude who could work all those international styles, could do all the fancy shit, lucha.
Was he during the time as your other boy Trent?
Trent Acid. Yeah.
Was he the same time as them?
Dude, that was a golden era.
You were the only guy to give Trent Acid his flowers on YouTube, man.
Well, I think there's a lot of Trent Acid fans out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that saw him wrestle and saw how good he was, whether it was in Jersey All Pro Wrestling. But
flowers,
CZW,
you were the only one that gave him, bro.
You know?
No one else in YouTube gave him flowers.
I mean, he's got a lot of people that respect him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of fans. So
a lot of people appreciate Trent Acid. He's definitely one of those guys. Like I think I remember when his finisher was amazing, the acid bomb.
Yeah.
Like the reverse, outsider's edge or whatever.
And then he would sit out over. He would grab the legs, you know? That was dope.
Sick.
That was dope. He used to do the full moonsault. He would pull down his pants to like his ass. And then he would just do a moonsault. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I saw him on what was that documentary? Match Subject to Change, or Card Subject to Change.
That was sad, man. That was sad.
I didn't see that. I watched the Teddy Hart special.
You know who's in that, yo? Fucking Eric, yo. Fucking Roach.
Really?
Fucking Eric Corvus. That's what he wrestles.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, he's
Corvus Fear. You mean?
Yeah. He's Corvus. Eric Corvus.
He's in
Corvus
the Teddy Hart thing?
Fucking Eric.
No.
You know
Card
Papa Roach.
He was in my class.
He trained, bro. We all trained together. Together.
Yeah, it's
Eric
called
Card bumps one after another.
I'm gonna send you that link, Ma, so you can watch that shit. It's called Card Subject to Change, bro. It's basically it's sad. It's only based in New Jersey though, right? New Jersey, PA, something like that.
The most part. For the most part, I mean, it's the Trent Acid part is really fucking sad though. Like you know,
well, he got caught up in some substance abuse, right?
Yeah,
a lot of wrestlers did. A lot of wrestlers did that shit, man. I mean, look at Perk Angle. That's kind of what happens, man.
Perk Angle.
You saw him on. He's been on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I actually want to check that out. I'm not a big Joe Rogan guy, but I definitely want to see that. You know
what I like the most. I don't know if this is something that you'll appreciate, Pat, because I know you don't like this type of stuff. But what I like the most about Kurt Angle's podcast is that he is so real on it, and he's willing to tell you anything.
He's only got 15-inch pythons. He said no.
Yeah, but dude, the way he talks, the way he goes into certain aspects of wrestling, and the way he like he's just open and honest, even about the Daniel Puder situation. Like he talks about it all, about his substance abuse. He tells you why he wasn't able to be better than he was. Everything he talks about on his podcast is really worth it. I gotta say that the hardest podcast that I've ever listened to was the Charlie Haas podcast. That was fucking sad because they talk about Russ for about 40 minutes and it's really bad.
Yeah. Is it me or is it Kurt Angle just sunken in? Like he doesn't look like, Angle. He looks like
he's fucking older, dude.
Oh, come on. There's a lot of wrestlers out there who still have their bulk.
Yeah, but he probably had to fucking slim down. Yeah,
he
man.
wasn't a steroid guy though. He was a guy who he was that way because of collegiate wrestling. His body had to be a certain way because of. I mean, I don't know.
He might have been a steroid guy. He might have been a
Dabbled?
steroid guy.
I mean, maybe,
Little
but I
bit,
don't. I mean,
little
I
bit,
didn't always assume
little
so.
bit,
Maybe,
little
maybe
bit,
a little bit, maybe
little
just
bit.
a little
You
bit.
know,
I get it. Yeah, I
but
get it.
nah,
Maybe,
he was
know.
he was in great shape because of amateur wrestling for sure.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He definitely had a lot of size, a lot of bulk, but he did bulk up, and I think he kept himself bigger. You
Mhm.
know, around that time, like bro, you look at Triple H like 2000, bro. Fucking animal. And I thought he was big like still like 2011, 2012, but bro, oh my god, he was a
But
fucking
bro,
beast.
he's got different body types for every era he worked in.
Yeah,
Like he looked like the young dude in like the Attitude Era, the DX era, and then when he's the Game is when he starts like getting jacked. And then by 2004, when he works like the main event at WrestleMania 20, he's starting to get like chubby, right? And then he has to wear like the Goldberg matches, he's like really chubby. And then by the Roman Reigns match, he's like thin. He's all like leaned out and stuff, and you could tell he kind of takes care of himself now. But I mean, I don't know. He's got that book if you ever want to look it up.
No.
Guys,
His training book
really
was
big
really
into
good.
nutrition.
All that
So
stuff.
he didn't drink or do drugs. Do you think he was on the juice?
Of course.
Yeah, man. Come
But that's not a drug to these bodybuilders. That's a necessity.
Yeah, a lot of those guys were gassed up back then, though. That was the era of the guys.
All right. So Eric Bischoff on a podcast, I can't remember which one it was. They talk about steroids and they talk about people failing the steroid test in WCW. And he said that wrestling is an entertainment business. You don't go suspend Chris Hemsworth for looking the way he does doing Thor. So why do you come in here and suspend Hulk Hogan for doing this? This isn't a sport. It's entertainment. So I wanted to get your take on why do you think that is?
Well, I think because it's the legal consequences of them trafficking fucking steroids and doing it in a way that's not through, a doctor doing it properly. You know what I'm saying? I think if they can get it through a doctor, you got a prescription for it, then that's fine. But if you don't have a prescription for it and some fucking dude who looks like a shittier version of you is fucking selling it to you, then it looks fucking shady. It looks shady. And now you have a drug trafficking ring that's going on within a wrestling company. That's illegal. You know what I'm saying? That's illegal.
I mean, I guess when in the 80s steroids wasn't illegal, they didn't give a shit.
Yeah. Well,
I guess look at some of those guys. But by 92, you could tell the guys that were off the juice. Like we just watched it in the Rumble. You could see the guys that didn't look the same.
Well, Sean was like chubby back then in 92.
Was he juicing, Sean?
He was like chubby, bulky. I don't know if Sean juiced, man, because I kind of feel like maybe in 97
he denies it even now.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like it. He doesn't even look like he really went to the gym that much. He was just naturally
the
way he is.
Biceps, he had like a wide back, you know what I'm saying? He was in shape. Look at that. There he is. D, that's his
He was suspended for steroids. But
but it was because he was pissed.
He denies that it happened. And the thing is, the only time he was ever like leaned out like that, like big, was for 96.
Yeah,
like he wasn't. You're right. In 95, he was still kind of like chubby Sean. WrestleMania 11,
97. No, bro, you look at him going into WrestleMania 14, bro. He was fucking big, bro.
Yeah,
he was big. He had some size on him.
But you're telling me The Rock ain't on the juice? Come on, man.
We don't know. We can't tell because of his boobs. You can always tell. Like Montez Ford, you could tell he just came off the juice. You can tell because The
Rock, though,
you can't tell
The Rock's
The
like
Rock.
mega rich. He could get a prescription, bro. He could do all that shit. And bro, he's 50, and look at the way he fucking looks, bro. Come on, he looked like he could get back in the ring right now. Like it's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. Why do I look like Pedro Pascal playing a part that Johnny Depp should be playing? Or like, why do I look like Johnny Depp playing like some part where like he's got to gain some weight and like have this fucking baby ferret hairdo that I got going on right now?
You got a nice head of hair, bro. You got some good hair.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. I look like a baby ferret right now. It's in the growing phase, but that's what it looks like. I feel like it looks shady right now.
I forget how
I look like I'm in this season of Narcos or some shit.
It's so good.
I'm gonna play the cousin. Well, anyways, listen, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah,
right? I got fantasy football match.
Yeah,
I gotta call you.
Got work at 4 o'clock in the morning, so
You got work at 4. I ain't calling you. You can fucking go to sleep. Vete a la mierda.
Sweet.
But
Yep.
but D,
you
it's
know
been
the
a pleasure
gimmick,
having
man.
you.
Pat, you got to see
folks.
the gimmick going on, man. You always get the gimmick going.
Yeah, I
on,
gotta
man.
keep the gimmick going on. I will, but I just gotta, do the other gimmick. Like,
Oh, there
check
we go.
out Must Love Wrestling Podcast. Is that it? Must Love or Must Watch?
Yeah, must love.
Must Love Wrestling Podcast. And D, check out In the Dungeon with Stu Hart with D. And don't forget to check out Work in the Marks. He is Dee Rotten. He is Macho Rodriguez. I am Patty Jr. Rican. And every week, whether it's in Turnbuckle or Time or Wednesday nights when somebody else doesn't show up, we are working the marks. Take it easy. Have a great night.
Peace.
Yeah.
Famcast Media. Bitch.